We are on a live session. We can start. Thank you.
Morning to all the shareholders and respected chairman and directors. I have pleasure in welcoming you all to the company's 62nd annual general meeting being conducted for the first time through video conferencing as per the circulars issued by SEBI and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in this regard. The proceedings of the AGM are being live webcast through CDSL platform so that shareholders across the India can log in and see the proceedings and also participate in the proceedings during the question and answer sessions. I now request chairman to formally take the chair and proceed with the meeting. Thanking you.
So good morning, everybody, and I welcome you all to the 62nd annual general meeting of the company. I would now like to introduce all the directors who are present through video conference. And fortunately, we have all our directors being present through the video conference. And first, I would like to introduce is Mr. R.S. Agarwal, Chairperson of the Audit Committee and Nomination and Remuneration Committee. Mr. M.M. Venkatachalam, Chairman of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee and Corporate Social Responsibility Committee. Mr. N.B.N. Rao, Chairman of the Risk Management Committee. Mr. Shri M.F. Farooqi, our Director. Ms. Srimati Chitra Venkatraman and Shri M.S. Krishnan, who is joining us from the United States. I'd also like to introduce the members present here with me today. Our CEO, Mr. Dharmakrishnan, Chief Executive Officer, is present here with us. And Shri Vaidyanathan, Chief Financial Officer, is present with us on the video. And Mr. Selvanayakam, our Company Secretary, here to my right. So I shall now proceed with my brief address on the performance of the company this year. I welcome you all again to the 62nd annual general meeting of the company. It is an unprecedented time like no other in our lives. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to drive uncertainty, and my heartfelt sympathies are to the families who have been adversely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, on behalf of all Ramco Cements, my immense gratitude to all the doctors, medical staff members, and the frontline staff of all the hospitals, and to all the essential workers and volunteers for serving and caring our people in need. So I'll go to the performance overview now. In this challenging scenario, your company has delivered a steady performance during the year. The company has produced 11.41 million tons and sold 11.2 million tons during the year under review, representing a marginal growth of 1% over the previous year. Because we lost about 15 to 20 days in the last quarter, otherwise we probably would have done slightly better. The revenue of the company for the year under review was 5,405.64 crores compared to 5,174.71 crores for the previous year, showing a growth of 4.46%. With better cost management, the operating profit grew by 10.22% to 1,173.82 crores, and the profit after tax by 18.82% to rupees 601.09 crores. The performance of the company for the year under review could have been even higher, but for the impact of the pandemic in the last 2-3 weeks of March 2020. As far as dividend is concerned, based on the approval of the Board of Directors at the meeting held on 3rd March 2020, your company has paid an interim dividend of rupees 2.5 per share on the equity capital of the company during the month of March 2020. Your directors recommend that this be the total dividend for the year. The recommendation of the dividend by the directors is in accordance with the dividend distribution policy of the company. The dividend payout represents 10% of the net profits of the company. The dividend for the year amounted to rupees 58.95 crores, inclusive of dividend tax of 12.12 crores. The total outgo was rupees 71.07 crores. For the previous year, the company had paid a dividend of rupees 3 per share. The capacity augmentation projects which is going on now. Our CapEx programs largely remained on track. The grinding capacity at Kolaghat, West Bengal and Vizag, Andhra Pradesh have been successfully doubled and have been commissioned. The greenfield grinding unit at Haridaspur, Odisha has been commissioned in August 2020. The other projects of greenfield cement plant at greenfield plant of Odisha is just getting commissioned. Just trial production is going on. That's an error. It was not the August 2020. That's not. The other projects of greenfield cement plant at Kalbatala and the established line 3 of Jaitpuram cement plant, both in the state of Andhra Pradesh, are scheduled to be commissioned by the end of the financial year 2021. The additional capacity comes on stream at a time when the demand is expected to be weak. Factors such as suppressed global demand, supply disruptions, grappling economy with the lockdown and factory shutdowns, and delayed capital cycle will impact the construction industry. However, we expect the demand to revive in the second half of 2021, which is when our new lines probably will be also coming online in full stream after commissioning in the first by the financial year end of 2021. The pickup in rural housing, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Rural, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, and spending on key infrastructure projects. Our focus will, until then, will be to stabilize operations at the newly commissioned plants and ensure steady progress of ongoing projects. More importantly, these plants being strategically located in the eastern part of India will ensure faster recovery. The environmental protection and sustainability initiatives by Ramco Cement. Ramco Cements has been strong proponent of environment protection and sustainable development with its 4P bottom line approach: product, profit, planet, and people. We are continuously undertaking research and are investing in green energy to make our products and process more sustainable. We are increasingly using IT in supply chain management for better planning and rationalizing logistics, which has reduced the number of truck movements. Our safety practices are being benchmarked to global best practices. This was evident during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we carried out regular temperature checking of employees, truck drivers, along with carrying out sanitation, etc. This has resulted in very few days of stoppage of a production, in fact, almost none. The main bottleneck was the dispatch by the trucks and the lockdowns, so we could not dispatch enough cement. Otherwise, we could produce. Our community engagements around education, health, and skill development are contributing to holistic socio-economic development of villages around our operations. We constantly endeavor to empower the communities around which we operate through focused activities encompassing healthcare, education, and skill enhancement. We remain committed to scaling the impact of our social outreach to deliver deeper and more meaningful engagement. Responding to the need of the nation, the disruption caused by the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic has triggered a major global-wide socio-economic crisis. Being the middle of it and responding to it is challenging because of the uncertainty and short-term challenges. At Ramco Cements, we yet again demonstrated our social commitment by displaying resilience and responding with agility to the welfare of all our stakeholders and the nation at large. Ramco Cements worked in tandem with local administration and healthcare authorities to help the most vulnerable communities during COVID-19 pandemic, such as setting up of isolation centers for treating COVID patients, mobilization and distribution of basic amenities, sanitizing with disinfectants in villages around the plants, donation of medical aids directly and also through state governments to various agencies are some of the initiatives taken by the company. Launch of new products. The company launched Ranco Supercrete, a specialty cement for concrete, and Ranco Infra, specialty cement for high-strength concrete, and for infrastructure project work as premium products. The products have not only gained quick acceptance, but also the customers and users have experienced value addition. The company expects to make substantial inroads with its specialty cement and increase the share of its premium products. We have given a thrust for research and development activities, and because of which the company now has 12 different cement types because of which now the company has 12 different types of cement meant for different applications in constructions. The specialized segmentation of otherwise a generic consumer product has given us a competitive edge in understanding the consumer needs and supplying the right cement product for the right application. This would ultimately improve the customer satisfaction and enlarge and improve our brand preference. The future outlook, various economic measures announced by the Government of India are expected to give a fillip to the industrial growth, which has been affected by the pandemic. Resumption of key infrastructure projects will help revive the demand. Focused expansion of the eastern part of India will also ensure high growth potential for the company. Awards. Sustainability has always been a great importance in our business operations, and this has been validated with the company winning several awards from the government and industry for its benchmark standards in sustainable processes and operational efficiencies in mining and manufacturing. Sri Dharmakrishnan, our Chief Executive Officer, has received Professional Excellence Award for His Excellency from His Excellency the Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri Anwarilal Purohit. People focus. At Ramco, people are our greatest assets and believe that in our roadmap for building the future, employee involvement is crucial to be in being continuously creative and to the drive in organizational excellence. Teams across the company worked in tandem to reduce cost, improve efficiencies, and innovate new methodologies in building competencies to align with the changing dynamics of the market. I congratulate Mr. Dharmakrishnan, our CEO, and the senior leadership of Mr. Vaidyanathan, Mr. Srinivasan, and all the plant heads, and the entire team at Ramco Cement for the good performance. I will also like to congratulate our marketing team, Mr. Balaji Murthy and his team. The members of the board have always been of great support, and with their valued guidance and encouragement, I think we have progressed very well for the year. I thank them for their time and active participation. I also take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all of you for your valued support as shareholders and for your continued support in trusting our company and going forward. Now I'm open to take some questions.
Now the shareholders who are already registered as a registered speakers are now welcome to participate in the proceedings. As already indicated, every shareholder will be given about 3 minutes time, so that we request you to restrict your queries to 3 minutes so that everybody can participate in the proceedings. And also I request you to generally focus on the performance of the company for the year concluded and not on the numbers, etc., about the current quarter, which are price sensitive and not being shared with the stock exchanges as per statutory registers. I now request the first speaker, Mr. Naresh N. Tandwala, to speak.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kandula.
Chairman, sir.
Morning, sir. Yes.
Is my name. Chairman, sir. CEO, sir. The directors. Uh, in 1983, or equity capital was 3 crores, face value of 100 rupees. Market price was around 2 crores. In 37 years, market cap has gone up. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we are hearing you, sir.
Yeah.
Market cap has gone up from 7.5 crores to 16,878 crores at the last closing price of 710.4 of Ramco Cement. Present cement making capacity is around. This is achieved. Equity capital of all this is achieved through great efforts by finance committee under the leadership of the then chairman Sri Ramasubramanian Raja. Heads of super congratulations to the whole team under the then chairman, more particularly finance team for the meticulous planning, the engineering team for their proper planning and execution, the marketing team, and everybody in the company deserve full compliments. From reaching from 6 lakh tons in 1983 or thereabouts to 120 lakh tons now, and maybe in a year or two later, 190 to 200 lakh tons of cement will be produced only through internal generation and borrowings. No rights, no QIP or special payments. I feel no cement company in India has such record. Please give some idea about cost and time escalations on capex and expansion plans of the company. The annual report is excellently prepared. Congratulations to the Secretarial Department. Lot of confidence is visible in CMD's and CEO's statements in the report. That gives assurance to the shareholders that things will be on the right track soon, subject to, of course, COVID impact. I distinctly remember the then chairman father of our segment PRB, he used to tell us that his father used to tell him that please take care of shareholders. I am sure this practice will be followed in the present generation and things would improve for shareholders in time to come. Our best wishes to CMD, CEO, and the whole team at Ramco Cements to take the company to far greater heights. Thank you.
And for your good words, and I hope we can live up to the expectations of the shareholders.
The second speaker is Hemant Khandelwal. I request him to kindly come online and speak.
He's available. We can move on to the next one.
The third speaker is Bharat Raj Kakanala. Mr. Bharat Raj,
Not available. We can move on to the next.
the fourth speaker is Mr. Vibhas Naresh Kandwala. Mr. Vibhas?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Chairman, sir, of director, and fellow shareholders. Compliments for the very good balance sheet. Very much details are given to our satisfaction. And regarding expansion, likely to over by 2021 March. On completion of all expansions, total capacity of Ramco Cement will be 20.79 million tons per annum. With the blending of fly ash and slag, how much more Ramco Cement can produce at full capacity? High volume, specialty, concept cement. What are the likely percentage of total cement sales in 2020-21 and 21-22 of this specialized cement? Can we improve our operating margins to 30% level in 2021-22 with the help of the premium cement? Likely capacity utilization in the third year, that is in 22-23. The dividend distribution tax is removed. We expect more improvement in your dividend distribution policy. Current year, it is only 10% for 19-20. I think it will be improved at a good rate. And finally, my compliments to each and everyone at Ramco Cement for doing exceedingly well job. Thank you so much. And also to na padegi. Thank you.
So thank you very much for your questions, and I'll just attempt to answer many questions briefly. Basically, you asked whether by after 21 March our capacity will be 20 million tons plus, and we asked whether we can expand that even more by adding more materials. Actually, this 20 million is what we can produce by adding this additional material, because our clinker capacity would be around 15 million or so. So 14 to 15 million will be our clinker capacity. So we can actually produce cement of 20 million tons. So that's the answer for the first thing. We also said, given all the extra special cements and all the brands we're introducing, how much percentage of our cement will be our special cements and premium cements? We expect it to be 30%. 30% of our thing. And I think the other question you had asked was on margins, whether we'll be able to maintain a margin or improve our margins to 30%. That is very difficult to say because it's entirely dependent on the market prices. We can attempt to keep our costs down, our logistics operations to the optimal. All I can guarantee is we'll try to make near optimal profits given our capabilities. Margins will always fluctuate depending on the market price. And you also said whether we can actually, what will be a capacity utilization coming into the next years. That's also very difficult to say. On average, our capacity utilizations, though last year was quite high at 90%, this year so far has been around 65% or so. Maybe we can take it to 70%. But down the road, depending on the supply and demand and how the economy develops, it's very difficult to say what a capacity utilization will be. But our focus in our company has been through a lot of R&D and operations efficiency and use of digitization and so on, has been whatever the capacity is, how do you maximize our EBITDA, total EBITDA for the company, and keep it at a sustainable level or a growth level. That has been our focus rather than pure volumes alone. So that is my answer for that. And dividend wise, this year we didn't actually increase too much because of all the uncertainties coming. We thought it may be prudent not to. We have to give a signal saying that there is some uncertainty in the markets, though we will overcome it. But that signal has to be given. And also we have quite a bit of capital spending to be done. So far we have been approved to spend 3,000 crores for 3 projects, Kurnool, Jaitpur and Odisha, which are being commissioned. We spent 2,000 crores and we'll be resuming. We have to spend another 1,000 crores, which will be done over the next 8 months or so. 8 months or so. So given all this, we thought it's important that we don't overdo our dividend policy. So that is my answer.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Srivas. The next registered speaker is Srinidhi Bajoria.
Good morning, respected Chairman and members of the board.
Good morning.
I am Srinidhi Bajoria, a shareholder of this company and a member of Millennium Mams. Sir, I believe that Ramco Cement believes in value addition and accuracy to build a great brand. Can you tell us how much of a price differential there is for the premium brands of our company as compared to that of our competitors? Thank you so much, sir.
Brands, the top 2-3 brands, basically we strive to be in the top 2 or 3 brands, and we will be plus or minus 5 rupees among them depending on the market and the markets. And the premium brands will be 10 rupees above the competition. But if you take the C category brands and the lower kind of brands, then the price difference can be as high as 40 to 50 rupees per bag. And we also have a campaign to show our consumers why even by paying this extra money, they will save a lot of money in the construction, given the quality of our cement and the special characteristics we give, so on. And that is the most important thing we have to keep doing. Why they need to pay this difference? Because the cement is distinctively a different product from the commodity products. And this is the campaign we continue to emphasize on. I hope that answers your question. And one more thing, my CEO tells me that a premium most brand, the Super Creed brand, is actually 40 rupees higher than even our own top brand, which is our highest selling brand, Super Creed, which is also already in the premium bracket in many markets. And we have priced it much higher than our own premium brand. And people are coming and there are repeat purchases for that. So that is the positioning and the deep R&D we are doing. Does that answer your question?
Ms. Bajoria.
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is Srimati Srisha Kadiyala.
Very good morning. Very good morning. Namaste from Kolkata. I'm Sirisha Kadiyala, a shareholder of this amazing company and member Millennium Mams. So you're going in a big way to East India. So welcome to East India. And my question is, East India is a favorite, this area has become a new favorite for various players in cement. So how far is this area from becoming the overcapacity region, and what would be your hedge in playing in two areas which are facing overcapacity, which is East and South?
So thank you for the question. Yeah. So basically, if you see, even today, there is a lot of overcapacity in this East. And the capacities are growing, but the demand is also growing. But given that we have played in overcapacity markets and for many years, our company now has the culture and ability to be able to handle this intense competition and position our brands as premium with very high quality and make sure that we get the premium pricing. And given that brand pull, we should be able to sell what we produce. So that way, I think we will be able to handle the capacity, overcapacity which is coming in, and we are confident.
I'll explain in detail. As far as East is concerned, there's no limestone. So the new full integrated plant can't come in East. The only way, for example, it may be West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, all these places, all entire Northeast, limestone is not available except Meghalaya. So the new capacity can come up only via grinding units. What cement companies are doing now, the overcapacity, I don't agree with you 100%. What people are doing, whatever cement they are moving from Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, instead of moving cement, they want to put up the capacity, the grinding capacity in Bengal and Orissa, and they want to produce locally. So because of that, we can reduce our logistics cost greatly, and also we have the sun of the soil, so our brand can go in premium. That is the strategy. That is the strategy followed by Ramco some 15 years back. Now other companies are following.
Thank you. The next registered speaker is Srimati Priyanka Bait.
Good morning, sir, members of the board. Sir, I am Priyanka Baid, a shareholder of your company and also member of Millennium Mams. Sir, I would like to ask you how much delay in the expansion plans will affect the costs for the capex. Also, by when do we see the entire expansion plan completing? Sir, my next question is, please share the details if the capacity expansion done at Vizag, Orissa and Kolaghat has commenced production with the new capacity, and by which quarter the new capacity has started contributing to the revenue of the company? Also, sir, by when do you expect the Kurnool unit to complete and commence the production? And can we expect our company to be debt-free by 2023? Thank you, sir.
The company will be debt free by 23-24, not 22-23. So as far as the expansions are concerned, our Kurnool and Jayanthipuram, there will be delay of 5 months clearly because of the COVID. And even last week we have a complete review with our leading contractor Larsen Toubro, and they promised to complete by January end. So we are confident by January or January end or during the second week of February, definitely plant will be commissioned, both Jayanthipuram as well as Kurnool, this one. Also, we are commissioning a waste heat recovery plant. One waste heat recovery plant has already been commissioned, that is 9 megawatt. The trial production again on. In another week's time, definitely will get benefit out of waste heat recovery. Next waste heat recovery will be commissioned another month's time. And the third waste heat recovery come along with the project. So, as the capacities are concerned, West Bengal, we increase the capacity from 1 million to 2 million tons. And also, we have new capability to produce the slag cement. If previously we used to produce only PPC cement, now we are having capability to produce the slag cement also. We have, along with the cement grinding unit, we have commissioned the equipment for the drying the slag and everything. So, we are capable of producing the slag cement also because the Bengal consumes 40% slag cement. We'll same thing with Odisha also. Odisha from we are putting up 1 million ton. Again, there also we are producing all types of cement, OPC, PPC as well as slag cement. And the raw materials are sourced are nearby. The only thing clinker we have transport. Otherwise, fly ash and the slag already we source the suppliers and the resources are very nearby. Vizag also we expand the capacity from 1 million to 2 million tons. Already we started producing the cement from there. The only thing, overall capacity may not go because the clinker capacity remaining same. And the real capacity expansion, you can see only the first quarter of 21-22. And because of this project, there will be this both the clinker, this one, there is a delay of 5 months as already told you. Odisha is already it is commissioned, trial production is on.
Thank you. The last of the registered speaker, Srimati Sweta Singhal.
Good morning, Chairman and board members. I, Shweta Singhal, proud member of, proud shareholder and member of Millennium MAM. Sir, my question is, the capital utilization for clinker is 90%, whereas for cement is 61%. What is the reason for this? Also, do we expect similar capital utilization, capacity utilization this year, considering that there has been a capacity addition? Sir, I would even like to add one more thing. What are your expectations of sales and demand in the future and in the coming quarters? Thank you.
Yeah, the clinker capacity last year as well as cement utilization is same, both are 90%. Our cement sales is lower by 2 lakh tons compared to the production because of lockdown. Otherwise, last year if we take 2021 clinker production as clinker capacity utilization as well as cement capacity, both are 90%. It's not 61%. The first quarter is again the clinker production as well as cement capacity is only 60-65% because of the COVID. You know very well, by April, almost 24 days we lost because of the lockdown. Afterwards, also we have lockdown. Different states have different policy of lockdowns. Take for example, your own West Bengal, weekly 2 days lockdown is still continuing. we can't dispatch any cement during that time. See, such lockdowns only affecting our sales now. Otherwise, the customers are willing to buy. Only the delivery is how to deliver the cement to the customers is our major concern. Which, for example, it's another good news. Now the Kolagad, we also commissioned the railway siding. So that I forgot to tell you before. We also commissioned the railway siding. In fact, 3 days back, the first railway rack has been moved from Kolagad plant to Tankuni railway station. And with the commissioning of the railway siding, we are confident our capacity utilization in Bengal will go up because we will be we can more cement, we will move more cement to inside Bengal, also to northeast. The Orissa cement blending also will be commissioned along with the railway siding. In fact, another week's time we'll get the railway siding. With that also we can move cement wherever we want. So with that, beginning 21-22, definitely I am confident the capacity utilization will be vibrant. But the one question is the COVID. Okay, suppose if there's no lockdown now, the last 1 week, even in Tamil Nadu, they have opened up everything. Like that, if you open up the economy, I am confident the project will be commissioned, commenced, and there will be greater demand for this cement.
Thank you. Thank you for the speaker shareholders. I will go through the rest of the statutory compliances part of it. The registers that are required to be maintained and available for inspection at the AGM have been made available electronically. Members seeking to inspect such registers can send the request to the company's mail ID in this regard. They will be sent the copies. We also wish to inform you that the certificate with regard to the company's stock option schemes, that the schemes have been in compliance with the SEBI and other appropriate guidelines obtained from the auditors of the company, is available similarly for inspection through email. The notice to the AGM has been sent by mail as per the guidelines of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to all the shareholders who have registered a mail ID. And those people who acquired shares subsequent to the dispatch of the notice, all such shareholders have been identified and individual copies have been made to their mail IDs so that they'll be able to vote and participate as per the links provided therein. The company's statutory auditor's report is unmodified and unqualified, and so we will take it as read. The company's e-voting procedure has been explained in the notice, and the e-voting, which started at 9 a.m. on 4th September, that is on Friday, and concluded on 6th September at 5 p.m. on Sunday. For those shareholders who have been voted during those 3 days, the e-voting facility has been made open during the proceedings of this AGM so that it would enable the shareholders who have been voted previously to vote on the resolutions during the AGM. Members who already, however, voted previously in those 3 days are not allowed to vote once again during the proceedings of the AGM. The resolutions on which the shareholders have voted and are voting are 4 for the current year. The first is adoption of the company's accounts. Second is reappointment of Sri P.R. Venkatramaraja as a director liable to retire by rotation. 3. Appointment of Sri M.S. Krishnan as independent director for a period of 5 years. 4. Ratification of remuneration of rupees 4.50 lakhs for GS & Company, the cost accountants. These are the 4 resolutions on which voting is available during the AGM. That brings to the end of the business of the AGM. I request Chairman to formally conclude the meeting.
So thank you, everybody. Before I conclude, I'd like to ask any of the directors if they have anything to say. Please, a few words, and then we can conclude the meeting.
Mr. MBN Rao.
Mr. Rao, you'd like to say something?
Thank you very much, Chairman. I would only like to express our sincere thanks to the Chairman, to the Chief Executive, and all the senior functionaries. The company has been most professionally managed, and in terms of the progress the company achieved over the period, especially in terms of cost control and in terms of marketing, it has been exceptional. So our sincere thanks to the Chairman, Chief Executive, and all the senior management.
Thank you. So, anybody else would like to say anything?
I would like to add to what Mr. Rao said, congratulating Chairman and the CEO and the entire team for not only the business performance, given the uncertainty, but also taking care of the health of the employees and the entire ecosystem, taking all the care that is possible to operate safely in this environment.
So thank you, everybody. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all of you. And I will now like to call the meeting closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. I also wish to thank the CDSL, the representatives from CDSL, especially Mr. Karthik and his colleagues for the excellent support, technical and otherwise, for conducting this AGM. Any number of times they conducted the rehearsals with the directors and with the executives for us and as well as for the group companies. So it's not out of place to record our appreciation and sincere appreciation to the CDSL team. Thank you, Mr. Karthik. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Very much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.